All right, what's going on out there, podcast world? It's your boy, Drummer John, here with the Post to Post Wrestling Podcast. I am joined by the original, the one and only Will, one half of the Brothers of Discussion. We're a little short-staffed this week. Coronavirus got a lot of people down. It's affected us a little bit, not necessarily the coronavirus, but Grayson's out with the Heineken virus. Wes is out with the Cheerwine virus. They'll be back in a little bit joining us. Will, how you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. I haven't caught any random viruses.
Outstanding.
So,
I'm more concerned about getting the White Claw virus.
Oh, God. I hope no one catches that.
Although I'm drinking a new one this week. This one's called High Noon Sun Sips. It's vodka and soda. Black cherry.
Yes. Chick Dream Drunk and I are going to talk about wrestling.
Yes.
It's going to be a good time. But like we were saying, damn, it's shit's hit the fan across the board, man. Just every avenue of recreational viewing there is, from, legitimate sports to our legitimate sport, is suffering the consequences of this virus and its crazy propagation.
Sure, let's take it from the top of the list. The NBA and the NHL have suspended their seasons. I don't watch either, so I don't give a fuck. The XFL
if I gave a shit
done.
about any of them, if I gave a shit about either of them, I'd probably be more upset over the NHL, because at least they still kind of play it honest and they fight, get their problems sorted out, and then they go to timeout for a few minutes and they're good to go. NBA's a bunch of babies.
XFL is done for the year.
Yeah. You there? Hello?
But they're done also.
Okay.
And then who else do we got? March Madness is only going to be played in front of family and close friends.
No,
so
that has been updated
done.
to completely canceled as of today.
It has?
Yes.
Okay.
The college playoffs are completely off until further notice.
It is affecting our goddamn world of wrestling.
I know.
Bastards, starting as soon as tomorrow, WWE SmackDown is going to be at the Performance Center. They canceled the Detroit show. They're moving it to the Performance Center, to an empty arena. AEW, they're supposed to be in Rochester this week. To my buddies Scott and Robert, I'm sorry, dude. I convinced you guys to buy tickets, and now you got to wait till June or July for them to come back to Rochester.
Are they going to honor the tickets for the people that purchased the Rochester show?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, that's cool.
My buddy Scott sent me a screenshot of the message he got from Ticketmaster. They have a new date set up. It's June 8th or July 8th. I can't remember what the hell it was.
That's not too bad.
He showed it to me. And then they're probably going to have to move Blood and Guts, because the mayor of Newark is saying that anything with a gathering of more than 50 people is non-essential, and they're banning all that. So the good news is that the AEW has relocated to Jacksonville, to the what's it called, Daly's place.
The weird open-air joint.
Yeah, I mean, they own it, so it makes the most sense for them to relocate there versus, going somewhere else and not being able to sell out. It's July 8th. I'm looking at it now. Rescheduled for Wednesday, July 8th at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester. But, that way if they can't sell any tickets, or they don't sell any tickets and choose to do an empty arena, they're not going to lose out, because the cons own the building. So
exactly. They're cutting their losses, but still, covering their ass.
Yeah, being smart about it. Ring of Honor's 18th anniversary show this weekend, pay-per-view, canceled. New Japan Cup, canceled.
They've completely officially canceled the New Japan Cup and all New Japan events through the end of the month. The only New Japan event that we're unsure of as of right now is the Bullet Club Block Party. It is, or Beach Party. It is still up in the air.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to see that a lot. There's been a lot of things that have been affected by this. I saw a report earlier, Scrapper Mania 6 in Ireland. That's the one with John Moxley versus David Starr. That's not happening this weekend. But I saw an article that literally listed every wrestling thing that's been affected by the coronavirus and everything that's going on. So it's pretty freaking crazy what's going on out there.
It's wild, man. It's I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, even the closest analog to this I can think of was SARS, and it wasn't even like this bad.
Dude, I saw this whole thing back in 1995. Dustin Hoffman was in a movie called Outbreak. It was the same
that
thing.
movie? Yeah. That movie. Yeah, dude. Only it's not weird Ebola and we can't cure it with fucking orange juice or whatever the hell it was.
Man, but yeah, so much stuff is being affected by it. But you know what? For everyone who is, keeping the show going and getting everything going on, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys giving us our entertainment while we're at home quarantined for 2 weeks or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah, thanks to anyone in New York City who happened to find one of our business cards and tune in. I appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy it. You don't hate us. Tell your friends.
You will by the next episode if you don't already.
Yes, but you'll hate us in a good way. We're the type of people you love to hate. Not the type that you hate because you hate them. You love us, but you hate that you love us because you hate yourself.
All right. What do we want to kick off about AEW last week?
Oh, yeah, man. You take the reins because you were there live, large and in charge.
I was all over the show.
You were all over the place because you had primo seats. I saw all the people sharing pictures of you on damn Facebook. It was like, oh, look, there's John. Oh, look, there's John. He could reach out and suck John Moxley's dick if he wanted to. Oh, look, there's John again.
That's the beginning of the show. Was right friggin' there, walks right by us. I got to touch the belt, touched him. It was pretty damn cool. The whole show was awesome. It started off with a dark match. Peter Avalon and Kip Sabian versus
Jurassic Express. Yeah, I saw that one just earlier today.
Yep. That was a good match, too. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. And then I got...
It's a Penelope Ford.
Yeah, I got through most of the second match, I think, before I left the gym. I had it running at 1 3/4 speed while I was on the stair machine, so I wasn't riding the bike like I usually do, which is like a 30-minute 8-mile run or bike ride.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the stairs today. Then I only got like a match and some change done, so I didn't get to finish it. But
they had a total of 4 matches for Dark. They had that one. They had Jimmy Havoc squash a local talent, a guy named Severini something or other. Apparently he's from Rocky Mountain Pro here in Denver. Jimmy Havoc whooped that ass, and then Luther came out and whooped that ass, and then they got into it again backstage. Luther, congratulations to being signed to a full-time AEW contract. It's
apparently his first North American contract.
Yes, first time ever being signed in North America. I didn't realize that him and Jericho were that tight, but apparently him and Jericho are like super tight.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah,
I saw the picture of them together on Instagram, and that's about as far as it went. I didn't think they were like official, like, yo, bro, let's go have a beer on the weekends type of type.
No, apparently, because Jericho posted it and said, after 30 years of riding the roads and taking bumps worldwide, Dr. Luther signed his first national U.S. contract today with All Elite Wrestling. He's impressed a lot of people. He's also going to be working backstage, apparently going to have some kind of office job. And then,
if he's already been doing it for 30 years, he's not going to be constant in ring. He's definitely going to be like behind the scenes stuff. He's going to be like your flipping Kazarians and such.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, I was watching Impact today. I'm going to jump over real quick, and they broke out Chris Sabin, who I haven't seen in forever, but apparently he's backstage role in Impact.
I like Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, right?
Yeah, and he looked horrible. Like,
really,
dude, he looked.
The last time I saw him was like New Japan, the spring tag league last year, the year before, and he looked great.
Dude, he looked like Daniel Bryan with coronavirus. It was bad.
Oh no, he looked worn out, run through the ringer, eh?
He was just like real gaunt, real skinny. It was weird. But
I digress. So, other things AEW related. I mean, we've got.
Let me finish the card, man.
Yeah,
the card. We had another dark match with another chick from Rocky Mountain Pro, Hikaru Shida versus a girl named Abaddon. And she impressed me. I thought this was a great match. She's got this like ghoul look about her, different color eyeballs, and
yeah, I saw the picture of her, but I didn't see the match because I didn't get that far in. I'll probably finish it here pretty soon.
Shida got pissed off and actually pulled her hair out because she didn't know how to deal with this chick. I need to start watching a little bit of Rocky Mountain Pro and see what she's about.
That way. That's not the group that your boy runs, is it?
No, my friend runs Asylum Championship Wrestling in Denver. But this is a different group that I think he's going to work in conjunction with. I'm not sure. I'm talking about Brandon Bishop is my buddy's name. He also has a wrestling podcast as well. You can check him out. And he runs a TV network on Apple TV called ASY Network. But yeah, Asylum Championship Wrestling is his group. But no, different group, Rocky Mountain Pro. If you ever go back and watch the first episode that they have on Fight Network, like Vince Russo is on it and shit like that. So I wasn't too keen about it.
I want to run people away from it now.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it as much, because they kept predominantly showing Russo and just not a fan of his shit. So
it's like sometimes with Russo, he says stuff that I enjoy, but then he says bro so many times that I'm kind of done with him after about 5 minutes, and I'm like, dude, shut up. I'm done.
Watching the dark side of the ring and watching him and Cornette get into it. Well, they weren't in the same room or anything, but talking shit about each other, and Russo saying that he came up with the screw job, and Cornette saying he came up with the screw job, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
I really feel like Vince came up with the screw job. Fuck both of them.
I agree wholeheartedly. I would also tend to agree with Cornette a little bit more, because that's the kind of historical shit that Cornette likes to throw out. I mean, he's a wrestling historian. He likes to throw out stuff like that. And if he's talking like in the dark side of the ring, he talked about how he pitched it to Vince as, a throwback to the 1930s, the 1940s, the screw job and the double cross. I could see that, I could see that materializing. So I tend to go with Cornette more than I would Russo in that regard. Plus, Russo strikes me as the type of guy who would fucking lie about that to get some credit.
Yeah, he's a weird dude, man. It's like every time I feel like I've kind of come to terms with Russo and I don't hate him as much, something new comes along and I'm just like, God damn it, Russo.
Then I hate him again.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, just quit while you're ahead, please.
The end of the night, we saw Private Party versus Sonny Kiss and Brandon Cutler, which is kind of an odd tag team. But it was
Private Party won, I'd assume.
Private Party won. They hit Brandon Cutler.
I think they'll never give Brandon Cutler a win.
0-9. But it was funny because after the match, Death Triangle came out, which is Pentagon, Rey Fenix, and Pac, and they beat the shit out of everyone in the ring. And then who'd we have come out? We had Joey Janela came out, Best Friends came out, Orange Cassidy came out. They wind up running off them, and then they did the after the night thing where they're all talking, and Cutler's like, "What? I'm not going to have to job for anyone tonight?" And Janela's like, "Hold on." And Janela goes out, and there's this dude who's dressed like future Joey Janela. He's like a 50-year-old dude, heavy set, but he's got the glasses, the long hair, Janela tights, and they let him come in and pin Brandon Cutler after being super kicked by Orange Cassidy.
Poor Brandon Cutler.
It was pretty funny, and then they all hugged in the middle of the ring, and Orange Cassidy, he brought up this little girl who was dressed like Orange Cassidy and had her in the ring with her, and I felt so bad for this little girl because she's in the middle of the ring with Orange Cassidy, and then 9 friggin' wrestlers come in and give her a hug, and she's in the middle of it. I'm like, oh my God, that girl must be dying in there. They held the hug a little bit too long for my comfort. I felt very bad for her.
Poor little girl.
And then
Orange Cassidy is ridiculously over.
Dude, so over. Like, dude, Best Friends don't do anything on him, dude. That crowd.
The first time I saw him on AEW, I was like, dude, I love it. I don't know what it is about it. I was just like, I'm in. I'm invested in Orange Cassidy now.
Yep. If his T-shirt wasn't white, I'd buy it, but I don't buy white T-shirts because white doesn't last very long in my house with all my animules and stuff. White turns it's real quick.
I have to. I love white T-shirts, but for some reason, every one that I have, within like a month, I like too many foods that have bright colors, and yeah, that.
And then at the end, I was pissed. I was fucking. We were waiting so long to see Mox and fucking Darby Allin as a tag team, and it didn't fucking happen.
No.
They beat the shit out of Moxley. So I'm watching on the screen while because Mox is coming out. He's about to make his way down the arena, the next section over, and then disappears. And then they show on the TV he's getting his ass beaten. I look up at it and I go, that's right outside the fucking stairs where I'm at. So I ran up there and I watched that whole fight right there. If you're watching the video of it, it's got like a red sign up top where it says cocktails. And I'm standing right below that, watching that whole fight take place. That shit was brutal, dude. Watching that up close like that, and they were beating the shit out of that dude. Hager kept trying to choking him out, and Ortiz and Santana were just funny, dude. The way they're yelling at us and everything, it was awesome.
Those guys are great. I dig them too.
I ordered their T-shirt, the Proud and Powerful T-shirt from ProWrestlingTees.com. I got the tank top version of it, so I got that coming in, and then I got the Cowboy shit T-shirt because they didn't have my size there. But I did spend almost $100. I got the Inner Circle T-shirt, the Guns N' Roses one, and I got an AEW hoodie.
Nice.
So I dropped the 60 bones on the hoodie, 30 bones on the T-shirt. But yeah, it was an awesome time. The venue's small. There wasn't a bad seat in the house, but where we were sitting was just fucking awesome. So, I mean, anybody out there who's thinking about going to an AEW show, after this coronavirus bullshit passes over and we get back to our regularly scheduled program, I highly recommend it because, I mean, it was just so much fun. In between the commercial breaks, they are just throwing T-shirts out and they're interacting with the crowd. They got QT Marshall and Brandy Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. They were throwing out apples that they signed. There were fake plastic apples that they all signed. And they were throwing them out to the crowd, dude. It was really cool, man. And the Jake the Snake showing up, that fucking pop was just unbelievable.
I could only imagine the pop fucking Jake got. I could only imagine.
So we're just sitting there watching the screen, and this green snake looking thing comes across the screen, and then you just see Jake the Snake, and then he comes fucking walking out, sounded like he smokes a fucking pack of unfiltered Camels every 2 hours.
Yeah, he fucking sounds nasty, dude.
Oh, man. But his promo was brilliant. Oh, Caesar. You know, I'm just like, oh, this is so good. That is the perfect heel fucking just promo, the way he went off on you know, quit fucking whining about MJF and so on. MJF wasn't there, but they showed the video of him with the T-shirt I pinned Cody.
That's great.
That was just awesome. He wore it again this week on AEW too. But yeah, it was a great show. Again, I recommend anybody. So also with AEW, the Young Bucks are no longer on Twitter.
What?
But they put out their phone number they put out their phone number for anybody who needs it. I'll give it to you in just a second. But they're telling people to text them, and you get like a auto dialer that comes back and asks for your name, email, date of birth, stuff like that. And then it says, you know, from here on out, any posts that you get, you know, any texts that you get are from them. It says hey, it's Matt and Nick. This is an auto text to let you know I got your message. Everything else will be from me. Make sure to click the link and add yourself to my phone so I can respond to you. The number is 1-904-204-1263. And we actually got our first text message this morning, which is a quick update on Nick. It's a link to a 23-second video of Matt talking about how Nick is, his condition. He's out indefinitely. For anybody who is wanting to break kayfabe, he's about to have a baby, and they're going to keep him off the road till after the baby. I don't know how that's going to affect Blood and Guts, though, which is 2 weeks away, and he's slated to be in that match.
I don't think it'll affect too much.
Yeah. Well, we now know the rules for Blood and Guts, finally. It's war game style, 5-on-5, elite versus inner circle, completely enclosed cage, roof, walls, everything. The only way to win is to get your opponent to submit or surrender.
Nice. That's going to be something else. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have to figure out a way to find it to watch. It's really crazy, all this stuff just kind of piling up at one time. Springtime is a very busy time for almost everything, like wrestling, all other sports. Spring's when shit happens, and then this virus has ramped up right at the beginning of springtime. And so it's just fucking up everything. And so we're just kind of like, well, guess we're going to have to go back to entertaining ourselves the old-fashioned way.
What else? Free the Delete. For anybody who watched last week's episode, this week's episode, it was only about 3.5 minutes long, but pretty entertaining. Matt and Nick are there with Matt Hardy at the compound. Matt Hardy wants them to super kick Zenith out of his vessel so he can be reincarnated as the next version of Matt Hardy. Funniest part of the video, Matt Hardy's son Maxwell comes up and asks the Young Bucks, "Did you bring Orange Cassidy with you?" And Matt's like, "Get out of here, you little turd." And there's a Matt Jackson tells him, "Get out of here, you little turd." But there's a clip out there where Maxwell runs up and does the same thing, except instead of asking for Orange Cassidy, he asks if they brought Randy Orton with them. Get out of here, you little turd. It was awesome.
Get out of here, you little turd. It's the best part.
Mm-hmm. It was funny, but they kicked the crap out of him into a coffin, and as they're closing the coffin door, he puts his hand out and he goes, "Thank you." And then they shut it, and that's how it ended.
I think this is where he's going to come in, possibly. This could be.
I still don't think it's New Order or Dark Order. I don't think I think Brody Lee is going to be the Exalted One.
Really?
Yes. They said the Exalted one was going to appear this week or next week, is what they're saying. They were supposed to be in Rochester, Brody Lee's hometown. I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, plus, I mean, it's being so hyped that that's going to be the Exalted one. That it's too obvious.
But I mean, they can always, double swerve. They'll swerve you one way to throw you off Matt's scent, but then, in actuality, the Brody Lee part was the fake out, and it turns out it really was Matt. So it's a fake to fake.
Possibly.
It's a possibility. It's like I kind of want it to be Matt, as long as whatever he's doing isn't too
as long as it's
derivative of the old way.
Yeah. No, there's
as long as it's
new broken.
As long as it's something fresh and super healy new, I'm for it. I mean, it can have some slight nods to the woke and broken era, but it needs to be its own thing. If it doesn't turn out to be its own thing, then there's going to be some problems with it. If it's Matt, he has a lot of pedigree, so it brings a lot to the table if the Dark Order has him as the Exalted One. If it's not him, then one, they have a lot more uphill to work with to legitimize themselves, even though in the grand scheme of things, they've done a pretty good job as just what they are, playing off that bizarre kind of cultish angle.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want bizarre,
Matt Hardy and his Broken Universe is fucking bizarre.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see what they got for us. Anything else on AEW before we transition over to the WWE?
No, other than what we've covered. That's pretty much the short and long of it all. AEW is just, firing on all cylinders, and it seems like it beats out WWE in the ratings every week now.
Yep, it did again. It did again this week. But
so
I put no stock in those fucking.
Let's see if it can give Eric Bischoff a new podcast with a new title.
I put no stock in those numbers. I watch both of them. I just prefer to watch AEW live. I watch NXT the next day. I know a lot of people who are in the same boat as me who do that as well. But I put no stock in that. Who gives a damn about the race? Put them up against a Monday or a Friday night show. See how they do. It's just numbers. As long as you're enjoying the product, who gives a shit?
Very true. Very true.
WWE had the Elimination Chamber this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
For me, match of the night was probably Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. It was the opening match, and it was pretty damn tight.
I read about that and how they were just trading back and forth, just like it was pure technical mat work.
Yes, it was.
That in and of itself was impressive to hear, because that shit never happens anymore.
Yeah, you would have loved it. I know how you like, Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. matches and stuff like that. Especially the Zack Sabre Jr., the technical aspect of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I read about it. Hopefully, if I get some time, I'll watch it. Fingers crossed.
They had the Viking Raiders versus Ryder and Hawkins as a kickoff match.
I saw that.
It had there was no build up to it. There was, I don't know, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins deserve better, man. They could be a really entertaining duo, and they, for the most part, got squashed.
Yeah, I in the grand scheme of things, I like the Viking Raiders more, just from watching them in New Japan so much.
Mm-hmm.
Back when they were
War Machine. Yeah, I used to watch them on Ring of Honor.
They were fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what we've got now. Still great, but they would have done so much better if they hadn't signed with WWE, in my opinion. But hey, I mean, you do what you got to do. And who knows? With this exposure now, it can up their stock, and if they leave when their contract's up, maybe whoever picks them up will do even better with them. You never know, but
they should have
all things considered.
They should have stayed in NXT.
Yeah. All things considered, though, Viking Raiders are solid.
Very
sad
much
they
so.
couldn't keep their old names, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, when the name is associated with a guy who tries to kill a porn star, you know, you just kind of move away from that.
I think more along the lines of Marvel Comics, not so much the other War Machine.
Oh, no, it was definitely the other War Machine.
I know, but I associated it the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm also a big UFC fan, so every time I heard, you know, War Machine, that's where I immediately went. Was UFC fighter who tried to kill Christy Mack and is now in jail for life. We had Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. Yes, that's his new name, Humberto.
Humberto.
Fucking ho-hum.
Ho-hum. Yeah, the match apparently was rated really, really high online. It got an A.
Mm-hmm. The match itself was good. There was a lot of good spots in there, a lot of athleticism to it. I just can't get behind Humberto. I thought they might have belted him because Andrade just came off his thing, and they seem to be pretty high on Humberto right now, but nope, they kept the belt on Andrade, so I don't know where they're going after this with him.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
They had the tag team elimination chamber match next with Miz and Morrison retained in that match.
Yeah. It went about the way you'd expect, honestly. The way everyone was getting eliminated, you started off with like the established teams throwing down, getting everyone hyped and in, and then like it stayed heavy the whole time.
Honestly, I think that match should have headlined.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely think so, because the main event, the women's chamber match, it was Shayna Baszler fucking crushing.
Yeah, I know. I
came out and dominated, which is an idea that Paul Heyman had for CM Punk years ago, and they never bought into it. And now that he's running the show, he ran with the story. So I mean, good for him for sticking to his guns and keeping with, you know, a storyline that he enjoyed. It just felt deflated at the end of the show. Like, yeah, where do you go from that? You know, people aren't leaving happy. It's, you know, she just came out, she wrecked shop, and it was over. Whereas the tag team one, you had Otis going through the friggin' pod out to the outside. You had, you know, the spot with Lindsay Dorado doing a shooting star press from the top of the chamber, which is friggin' awesome. I mean, there were some really good spots in that I think would have been a better headline main event. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, we called it. We knew she was going to win. We called
absolutely.
It last week. I feel like we honestly called most of this stuff, or at least between the two of us, we hit them all.
I was wrong on the Andrade Humberto match because I thought they were going to give it to Humberto. Finally, we did not. We went with AJ Styles. I think we both went with AJ Styles over Aleister Black, and Aleister Black wound up winning because of the Undertaker setting that up. We both wanted Sami Zayn to win, but we went with Braun Strowman.
I know,
and then Sami Zayn won.
I know.
Which is awesome. I'm super happy for Sammy. I'm glad he's fucking wrestling again. I hope they use him in a better capacity than they have been, because that is the epitome of wasted talent on this friggin' roster. I mean, Sami Zayn's awesome. El Generico was the shit.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. And then just the Street Profits retaining their titles.
Yeah, they defeated Murphy and Rollins. Side note on that, Monday night, Razor from the AOP tore his right bicep muscle. Friggin' dude beast man that he is, finishes the match, is catching people with one arm during the match and everything. But it's possible that they're going to be out of action for a while again, because if it's a torn bicep, he's looking at 4 to 6 months, I think, is the recovery on that. So it'll get better. It sucks, dude. I hope it's not as serious as what they're saying. But it doesn't look good for the AOP again. They just got back not too long ago from injury.
Yeah, I know. I heard about them, and then they were already out on injury. And then I forgot about them. And then now they were back, and they're already out again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're beasts, dude. Those guys should be just the way that they were booked down in NXT was awesome. Again, winning the Dusty Cup 2 times, 2 years in a row, and then
I think so.
They were just a dominating force to begin with, and now they're Seth Rollins' puppets. These guys should be owning the goddamn SmackDown Tag Team division. They should be booking them like the Road Warriors back in the day, just coming in and fucking wrecking shop. Hell, even throw some face paint on them. I'd be cool with that.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. I mean, all things considered, what I read about Elimination Chamber, it seemed like it was one of the better pay-per-views this year.
It wasn't horrible. A lot of the matches I enjoyed. Like I said, the kickoff match I wasn't too impressed with. There were some good spots. I'm not gonna totally knock it and tear it down. There were some good things about it. There were some predictable things about it.
Yeah.
But that can be said about any pay-per-view, I guess. I guess I'm being too critical. AEW spoiled me last week. I'm not going to lie. I'll fucking own it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone who was involved in the Elimination Chamber. Y'all fucking kicked ass, and I'm just, I'm sour as shit. My bad.
Fair enough. I mean, it's one of those things, man. And then, I mean, all things considered, I haven't watched it, so I haven't seen the true flow. All I've read is the reviews and seen some quick little recap videos. So from what I saw, everything seemed like it was pretty good. From what I read, everything sounded like it was coming up aces for that pay-per-view. And in all honesty, everything looked pretty good. So
I think they needed to have a single men's match in there. For something, for anything, even if it's for the Intercontinental type or something. I think that's what it was lacking, was
They just needed a singles match?
A singles men's match inside the chamber. 6 motherfuckers in there going for one of the belts, the United States Championship. Throw Andrade, Humberto, Angel Garza, Rey Mysterio, and 2 other high-flying motherfuckers in there, and just let them kick the shit out of each other. That
would have been something for sure.
Spots. That would have been something, man.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, outside of a couple minor foibles like that, I mean, it seems like the only thing that could have improved that show was just a few relocations of matches on the card. It seemed like they peaked way too quickly or something, or just finished on a weird note. It didn't finish with that.
That's what it was. It finished on a weird
climax.
Yeah, because it was domination. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. She just beat the shit out of everyone, and dominated. I mean, it's great, and I get why. It establishes her as a fierce opponent for Becky Lynch on the biggest show of the year. You want your main events to be strong. You want a strong challenger. You want a strong champion. And I get it. Just, I don't get it at the end of the night.
Yeah, but I mean, it's their shit, man. We just try to figure out why they do it, and we can't figure it out because sometimes they really like to go around their ass to get to their elbow. It's crazy, but let's go ahead and move on to some other small time WWE shit. I mean, good news. Hey, congrats, Triple H. You're still executive vice president, but you got a new hat. Mm-hmm. Yay! You're worldwide talent now.
Oh yeah, they did some some talent scouting in another country. It's the first time they ever went there. I can't remember what the hell it was. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Vegas is doing odds on whether or not WWE WrestleMania will be canceled.
No, of course they are. It's Vegas. They'll do odds on anything.
Vegas. Backup plan for WrestleMania because Tampa, the governor of Florida is suggesting that they ban any events with more than 200 people, that they don't go forward with it. So the talk of a backup plan is June or July, doing a WrestleMania in the summer. Oh, shit. How did we not talk about this? Rob Gronkowski signed to the WWE this week.
Oh, yeah. You showed me that yesterday, and I totally fucking forgot.
Yeah, because, I mean, it could be a good thing. Like, his showing at WrestleMania a couple years ago was fun. He's going to be working a Brock Lesnar schedule, so it's going to be super light. He'll be an attraction when we see him. But, good for Rob. Welcome to the family. We'll be talking shit about you in a couple weeks. He's going to debut in 2 weeks, unless he gets coronavirus.
Yep. Unless they say, hey, no traveling, you can't come to the show. Which is what I would see happening more than anything else. Like, they'd postpone any, new talent showing up just because they'd have to get them to travel there.
South Africa. That's where Triple H was this week. He went to South Africa to look for some.
Oh.
So that might have had something to do with his new title, his new hat.
Yeah, that could be.
There's a picture of him and Regal.
That's an interesting spot. I have not heard of too many people coming out of there off the top of my head.
PJ Black, Adam Rose. There was a big dude back in the day. I want to say his name was Nathan something, who I think was South African also. Big dude. But Triple H said there's a lot of tough people who come out of that country, so that's why they went to Johannesburg for some tryouts.
Johannesburg. Interesting. Maybe we'll see some good stuff.
Yeah, hopefully.
And less of the same recycled horse shit we usually get.
Some new gimmicks.
Oh, God. What I wouldn't give for a new fucking gimmick.
What else was there? I think that's pretty much it for WWE.
Yeah, for WWE, other than everybody, your boy, the British Bulldog, is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, his son, Davey Boy Jr., his daughter actually broke the news saying, it's about time, so-and-so. And then Davey Boy Smith Jr. said that he's going to be the one inducting him. Dude, hopefully WWE will look at him when he's up there inducting him and see something in him, because the kid's got talent. I mean,
he does.
Back in WWE.
I don't mind where he goes. I liked him in New Japan. I did not like the tag team.
Which one? The Teddy Hart one or the
him and Archer? I did not like it.
Oh yeah, the big guys.
Yeah.
What the hell were they called over there?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I just didn't care for it. There was something about it that just didn't jive with me at all. It's like they were trying too hard to be like the big bad foreign heels.
Dude, I'm totally fine with them reestablishing a Hart dynasty like they did before, a new Hart Foundation. Give Natty something else. And I know her husband is unfortunately done with his wrestling career, but I mean, there's other names you can bring in that would fit into that fold. Or something,
for sure.
I mean, because, Natty's too good for this mid-card spot that she's doing. Although she is getting a title match at WrestleMania.
Oh, good.
Tag
tag titles?
Yeah, Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya is what they're slating.
Of course, it'd be some weird ass format match. They can't just have 2-on-2 or 1-on-1. It's got to be 900 fucking teams against everyone nowadays.
Well, for 16 matches, you want to pack as many people in there as you can.
Stop defending them. You know it's bad for business.
But it's good for the performers, and I like them to make money.
I know. If they just, stop trying to shove the same fucking people down their throat every week and actually rotated their cast around, we wouldn't have this problem.
That would be wonderful.
And the last thing, it seems, is we got a lot of returning talent coming back.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy is supposed to come back this week. John Cena, and the one that's got me wondering what the hell's going on is Paige is supposed to be coming back tomorrow night to confront Bayley. But at what level? Is she going to be repping another talent like she did for the Kabuki Warriors, or is she coming back in the ring?
I mean, that one's hard to say, but I mean that's the best one we could possibly speculate on. I mean, Jeff Hardy's going to do what Jeff Hardy do. We know that. We know that Cena's going to inject himself into some title picture. It's guaranteed.
No, he's going against Bray Wyatt. It's already a done deal.
Yeah, see?
Bray Wyatt doesn't have a title, though.
Give it time.
Goldberg, Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Cena. Like I said, right after friggin' yeah.
Give it time.
I don't think he'll be around enough. I think he's coming for a WrestleMania payday, and then he's out.
I still think, knowing Cena, he always injects himself into a title picture. He's not as fucking brazen as Lesnar, but he's still part of that same ilk.
So I would love to see Paige make a return. Unfortunately,
yes,
that her career was cut so short. It's the one thing that they, when they did the movie about her, Fighting With My Family, they cut it off before it ever got to that, point in her career. And she was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Scandal.
I'm looking at in my room right now. I'm in my man cave room where I don't have very many wrestling figures. I've got the Elite Road Warriors. I've got the Classic Superstars Road Warriors. I got the Classic Superstar Draws, my favorite wrestlers, Draws and the LOD from back in the day. And then I also have an Elite Paige, and I've got a pop of Paige from Total Divas. I mean, she was my favorite female wrestler behind Lita back in the day. So I would love to see her get back in the ring, but I don't want her to hurt herself in the process.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's like part of me is like, okay, get back in the ring. Let's see what happens. Because, she was good. Real good. But at the same time, with the number of injuries that she's had, and half of them being, supposedly career killers. Yep. You're just like, is it really worth it for another in-ring comeback just for to be honest, just for exposure?
Yep. No, I agree.
Just to stay in the public eye, to not be forgotten. I think her best bet would be to champion someone else and come back in a managerial capacity and be a hype man for someone else.
Yep. But kind of like Madison Rayne is doing something like that in Impact right now, trying to get people to come in and beat Jordynne Grace. So, yeah, Jordynne Grace is another coronavirus situation there. She had to cancel an upcoming match at an indie promotion because of fears over coronavirus. She's getting married in 2 weeks to Jonathan Gresham. There's going to be a lot of older family members who are going to be in attendance, and she's concerned about somebody contracting it and spreading it to her family members. So she backed out of an indie show that she was going to be doing here. So I mean, it makes sense. Good for her. I'd have done the same thing.
Yeah, especially given the virus's track record of mostly taking fatalities from older people.
Yep.
The elderly and those with compromised immune systems.
Like me!
Yes. Thank you. No, you should be fairly well pickled in White Claw by now. I think you'll be okay.
I'm still sipping on this damn high noon Sunsips.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's WWE in a nutshell, man. They've got people coming back, and in the grand scheme of things, all that's left is like a little touch on our boys in ROH and NWA, and ROH is we already mentioned it before. ROH's anniversary show's been canceled, and that's like the only big news other than their participation in the Crockett Cup, which, if it follows suit with all the other ones, I feel like we'll hear an announcement about it being canceled before too long, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's possible, especially with the location being in Atlanta, Georgia, and most things that are being canceled thus far. Well, it's changing by the minute since we've been on this podcast. Friggin' Disneyland and Disney World shut down. So, I mean, who the hell knows what we're going to see by the morning?
I know. As of yesterday, though, if we go into the Crockett Cup, well, we mentioned it a little bit last week, where, as right now, the competitors are Rock and Roll Express, Villain Enterprises, represented by Flip and Brody King.
Yes, because PCO has a match against Nick Aldis coming up, so that's why he's not part of that tag team.
Yep. And then Marty has his match with Aldis that night. And then you got Ray Horace and Flamita.
Yep.
And then you've got Latimer and Isaacs, the wild cards.
Wild cards. And they're going to be doing another wild card team this year, which is going to be with a was it a gauntlet match or a battle royal or some shit? I can't remember what that was.
The last two participants will be the last team to enter.
Yes, and so far Zicky Dice, I think, is the only one.
Yeah.
They've announced.
As of right now, they have announced Tim Storm, Ricky Starks, and Zicky Dice.
Okay.
So those are three in there. I would almost bet, just because of the three names I see right there, they put Matt Cross in too.
Man, I hope so.
I
want nothing but good stuff for it to happen for that dude, because he is such an impressive talent, such a good, hard worker, humble. Like, I want nothing but good things to happen for that dude. Whatever he wants in his career, I hope he gets it.
And he puts in the miles, too. He goes across the country and possibly world. I can't remember if he does much international, but I'm sure he does. He is everywhere. I would almost guarantee they'll put him in there just because of a few weeks ago, remember on Power, where it was the triple threat between Zicky, Cross, and Starks? Yeah. And Zicky Dirty Deeded all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them putting Cross in there, and then it'll either work. I can see it working two ways. One, it'll be a team of Cross and Starks. Or two, it'll be the best swerve of a team of Zicky Dice and Starks.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Just because of the heat between the two of them.
Gotcha.
I think that weird will they, won't they attack each other dynamic will be great, or will they, put their shit behind each other and actually go to town working in the tournament, and then maybe even put up a good showing.
That could be cool.
That right there, I think, could lead for the most interesting developments. If you want just pure talent and an obvious setup, go with the other one, Matt Cross and Starks, because that would be great. But I mean, we don't know who the other men. Yeah, we don't know the other guys that are in it yet, so this is still really, really early level speculation. But I would like to see either one of those outcomes, either one.
That could
be cool.
And
then also a couple weeks ago we said it wrong because that weird episode of Power where things weren't playing the way they should have. We thought Trevor Murdoch had already won a belt. No, he goes up against Aaron Stevens at the Crockett Cup. For the national championship. And so if if Murdoch doesn't get it, one, I won't be surprised, but at the same time, I'll think they did him kind of dirty. Two, he doesn't have that same sort of charisma that Stevens has.
No,
he's got a different type.
Appeal. Yeah.
Murdoch has a different type. It's more of that old style wrestler charisma, where it's just like, I'm here to get the job done.
Dirty dick.
I'm here to do what I do.
Yep. Where Aaron Stevens just entertaining, and he's got the best wrestler in the world with him. The question mark.
I know.
Karate. That shit is so funny.
After hearing it 1,000 times, it's still funny.
Yep.
I mean, if that's not Josephus under that thing, I'll be fucking
It
surprised.
has to be.
The beard sticking out underneath.
The beard, the belly. It's got
like I said, if it's not, it's Josephus' twin fucking brother, Bocephus. Not to be confused with Hank Williams Jr., but yeah. Still yet. I mean, like you said, it's happening in College Park, Georgia, right outside Atlanta on April 19th. That's right in that sweet spot of Corona. So, it's real tight. We'll know here pretty soon.
Yeah, did we mention New Japan canceling all its dates? Yeah, we hit that at the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, we hit most of the stuff at the beginning because, I mean, if you haven't caught the hint so far, the common thread through everything tonight, coronavirus, if it were a person, it'd be that dickhead that talks on their phone through the whole movie.
All right. We're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to keep it clean, quick, and dirty this week, just like that coronavirus.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anything else before we sign off?
Hey, all things considered, just keep listening, keep supporting all of us here and in the greater 20th Century Media family. But, hopefully you found one of those cards in either the subway in New York or the subway in DC, or possibly at one of the train stations, because I was popping them everywhere, bars, restaurants, you name it. I was out and about last weekend. I was like, I gotta get some people listening. Yeah, tell your friends, tell anybody who likes wrestling, tell your mama. I don't give a goddamn. Just have them listen. Just tell them, hey, these guys are only like 35 episodes in. They might be okay eventually. Maybe. I turned a couple people onto it this week. I mean, we posted off about it on Facebook and stuff. I mean, I don't have any other social media other than Facebook, but I was talking to a couple of my one of my friends today, Scotty, up in Corning. The guy was supposed to go to the Rochester show, and I made mention about the podcast. He's like, "What? You got a podcast, motherfucker? Do you not see my shit on Facebook?" So if you're listening, Scotty, welcome to the family. Yeah. Make Robert listen too. Yeah, but I mean, all things considered, we've been doing it when Double or Nothing rolls around. If it's around the same time as it was last year, we've been doing this for about a year now. So my first one was. It wasn't too far after we kicked everything off, man. I think you jumped in right around May or so. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. But yeah, we've been doing it for about a year. Actually, I believe it's already been a year. We have been pumping them out for about a year, 35 episodes. That's not too bad if you think about it. I mean, it's more than every other week. So, yeah. We try to keep it weekly, but, this isn't a full-time job for us yet. Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully we get to be, like, podcast famous. That'd be pretty sweet. But honestly, the great end game is to get big enough to where you guys enjoy it. We still do our thing, but we get those invites to conventions. That's what I want. And I'll tell you, I will quit my fucking job in a heartbeat. If we get that sort of big, I'm all for it. I want to be able to get that invite on like the, hey, you guys want to come to Comic-Con or any of these wrestling related conventions for free? Yes. So that's what we're aiming for. It sounds selfish, but at the same time, we're also aiming to bring you guys quality listening.
Quality wrestling chatter.
Chatter. We're like talk radio, but without as many commercials.
And a lot more fucking cursing.
Whole lot. Talk radio if they could say what they really wanted to.
I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go drive some Uber and Lyft, so I gotta make some goddamn money to pay off my wedding.
Man.
Thank you guys for listening.
Viruses.
20th Century Media, big ups to Zach for working with us and keeping these podcasts tight and editing out all the crap that you guys don't hear that I randomly throw in. You guys have a great night, man. I'm out.
All right. See you, buddy.
Later, dude.
Later.